You were told the Chinese Zodiac began as a cute little story, a friendly race, a harmless legend, 12 animals, chosen to represent time. That's the version people repeat, because it's safe. But the original idea behind this myth is not safe at all, because the Chinese Zodiac isn't really about animals. It's about selection. It's about power. It's about who gets remembered forever and who gets erased without a trace. And when you look closely, the great Chinese Zodiac race stops feeling like a children's tale and starts feeling like a brutal system that rewards the same things our world rewards today: strategy, alliances, betrayal, timing, control. So tonight, we're going to strip away the cute version. We're diving into the dark origin of the Chinese Zodiac and why it was never about running fast. It was about knowing the rules and knowing how to bend them. The setup: 12 chosen, the rest forgotten. Here's the core idea in one sentence. In Chinese folklore, the order of the Chinese zodiac animals was decided through a legendary contest, often told as a race, under the authority of a celestial ruler, commonly called the Jade Emperor. And only 12 would be chosen, not 13. Not everyone gets a trophy. 12, because 12 isn't random. 12 becomes a system, 12 signs, 12 cycles, a framework that organizes time and fate. But here's the dark part most retellings skip. If you're not chosen, you don't just lose. You vanish. No place in the calendar. No sacred seed in the cycle. No story that people repeat for centuries. The Chinese Zodiac is immortality, and immortality has a cost. Now, if this was truly a cute race, the winners would be the fastest, the strongest, the most obvious choices. But that's not what happens. Instead, the winners are the ones who represent something deeper, not speed, but how civilization actually works. So let's enter the race and expose what it really rewards. Phase 1. The first crime. The rat strategy. The first animal that exposes the true nature of the race is the rat. Because the rat doesn't win by being stronger. The rat wins by being smarter than the story wants you to notice. In many versions, the rat convinces the ox, the hard-working, powerful, dependable ox, to carry it across the river. The ox does the labor. The ox takes the risk. The ox pushes forward with pure endurance. And at the finish line, the rat jumps off, steals first place, and takes the crown. Now, people usually tell this as a funny trick, but think about what it really teaches. It teaches a brutal lesson. In a system, the one who controls leverage wins. Not the one who works the hardest. Not the one who deserves it the most. The rat is the first proof that the Chinese Zodiac isn't about who's best. It's about who understands power. And if you've ever worked in a job where the hardest worker didn't get promoted, you already understand why this myth survived. Then comes the darker whisper in the background of this same story: the cat. In many retellings, the cat was supposed to be in the Chinese Zodiac. But the rat, either out of selfishness or fear, ensures the cat misses the race. Sometimes it's sabotage. Sometimes it's deception. Sometimes it's simply, "I forgot to wake you." And the result is permanent. Not sorry. Not next year. Permanent erasure. That's why the cat becomes the rat's eternal enemy in folklore. Not because of a prank. Because the cat represents something the Chinese Zodiac system refuses to forgive: missing the moment. In a selection system, timing is everything. You can be talented. You can be strong. You can be worthy. But if you miss the gate, you are nothing. That's the first dark truth of the Chinese Zodiac. Phase 2. The animals that win aren't cute. They're archetypes after the rat. The race becomes a showcase of roles. Because each animal that arrives isn't just an animal. It's an archetype, a survival strategy, a personality civilization has seen for thousands of years. The ox comes in right after the rat, and it's perfect. The ox is labor, structure, endurance. The ox is the backbone of society. Then comes the tiger, often told as fierce, proud, unstoppable. The tiger is power with no diplomacy. The tiger is what happens when a society needs warriors. But then you get a twist. The rabbit outpaces the tiger in some versions, using cleverness, agility, or a floating log. This matters because it's a reminder that the system doesn't worship violence alone. It also rewards adaptation. Then arrives the dragon. And the dragon is the moment the story stops pretending it's real. Because the dragon isn't just an animal. The dragon is myth itself, power that can't be captured in a cage. So how does a dragon place? Not first. In many versions, the dragon arrives later because it stops to help, bringing rain, saving people, or assisting others. And that sounds noble, right? But here's the darker interpretation. The dragon doesn't win because the dragon isn't competing as an individual. The dragon is the symbol of the cosmic order itself. It doesn't need first place. It needs recognition. It needs a seat. Because myth doesn't have to win the race to rule the calendar. It only has to be included. The dragon represents something terrifying. Some entities don't compete under your rules. They exist above them. Then comes the snake. Silent, strategic, feared. The snake often wins by surprise. Not strength, not speed. Psychological warfare. And then the horse, the goat, the monkey, the rooster, the dog. Each one fills a role in a complete civilization. And by the time we reach the final animal, we meet the most misunderstood winner, the pig. Phase 3, the pig's secret. Survival beats glory. The pig is usually told as lazy, late, hungry, distracted. The joke is that the pig arrived last because it stopped to eat and sleep. But that's the cute version. Here's the darker version. The pig arrives last and still gets chosen. Why? Because the Chinese zodiac isn't picking the best athlete. It's building a stable system. And the pig represents something essential. A society needs survivors. A society needs pleasure. A society needs the ordinary life that continues after war. The pig is not glory. The pig is continuity. The pig proves the Chinese zodiac values something beyond heroism. It values the kind of person who keeps living. That's why the last animal still matters. That's why the final seat still exists. Because a system that only celebrates warriors and kings collapses. A system that includes ordinary survival endures. That's the second dark truth. The Chinese zodiac is a machine designed to represent the full range of human nature. Not morality, not good versus evil. Human nature. And human nature includes betrayal, weakness, hunger, and survival. The real horror. The Chinese zodiac is a calendar and a judgment. Now, let's talk about why the Chinese zodiac story feels so powerful. Because it doesn't end at a race. It becomes a calendar, a time system, a way of sorting people. And when a story becomes a system, it gains a new kind of power. It starts to feel like a judgment. If you are born under a certain animal, you inherit that archetype. And suddenly, the race isn't just something the animals did. It's something you were forced into. That's the true brilliance and the true darkness of this myth. It turns folklore into identity. It says, time itself has a personality, and you belong to one of its masks. Which means the great race was never just a myth. It was the creation of a symbolic government of time. And like any government, someone gets excluded. Someone gets blamed. Someone becomes the eternal villain. That's why the rat becomes so emotionally charged. Because in the Chinese zodiac system, the rat isn't merely clever. The rat becomes the symbol of a truth people hate admitting. In real life, strategy beats strength. And sometimes, betrayal beats merit. Final verdict. So is it rigged? Alright, final verdict. Was the Chinese zodiac race rigged? If you define rigged as unfair, then yes, it rewards manipulation, alliances, timing, and opportunism. But if you define rigged as designed, then the answer is even more unsettling. It wasn't rigged by accident. It was rigged on purpose. Because the Chinese zodiac wasn't meant to crown the purest heart. It was meant to build a complete symbolic system of reality. A cycle that contains every kind of human, the strategist, the worker, the warrior, the survivor, the myth, the predator, the loyal guard, the performer, the messenger, and yes, the one who cheats. So the dark origin of the Chinese zodiac isn't that a rat betrayed a cat. It's that the system accepted the betrayal and made it eternal. Because the Chinese zodiac doesn't punish the rat. It immortalizes the rat, which means the true lesson of the myth is not, be good and you'll win. The true lesson is, learn the system or the system will erase you. The last twist. Why this myth still works today, and that's why this story never dies. Because we live in a world of selection systems. Algorithms choose what goes viral. Companies choose who gets promoted. Societies choose who becomes a symbol. And just like the Chinese zodiac, those systems don't always reward the strongest or the kindest. They reward the ones who understand leverage, timing, and rules. So here's the question I want to leave you with. If the great Chinese zodiac race happened today, with modern people. Who would win? The hardest worker? Or the one who knows how to play the game? And one more question. Which animal do you think got robbed? Should the cat be in the Chinese zodiac? Or was the cat never meant to fit the system? Drop your verdict in the comments. And if you want part 2, we go even darker. The Chinese zodiac's forbidden seat, the animal heaven refused to choose.